Hello everyone, it's Dviwi and welcome to Redstone lesson number 2. Now, in this lesson I'm going to talk about logic gates and a bit about clocks. Now, something important that I want to say before starting. You'll need to know what's 1 and 0 in redstone. So, like, a 1 means that the redstone is turned on. So, like, if this lamp is turned on, I will say it shows 1. And a 0, it means that it's turned off. So if this lever is not turned on but it's turned off, then I'll give in the input a 0. So a torch usually gives a 1, but if you give it power, so if you give it 0, if you give it 1, basically it will show 0. So what I got here is a no gate. I did explain a bit about it at the last lesson, in the first lesson. So what it does is that if you give a 1, it'll show a 0, and if you give a 0, it'll show a 1. And that's done by just placing a torch. So if I'll give a 1, it will turn off the torch and it'll give a 0. And if I'll give a 0, the torch will stay on and it will give a 1. So next up is something called an OR gate. An OR gate is basically means that you can power the output from here or from here. So just connect them both with redstone and make it go to the output. Now, these logic gates that I show you, those things that I show you, like a block with a torch on the side, this is not how you have to do it. There are many ways to make the logic gates. Like this here is also a no gate. You see that it does the exact same thing, and this here is also an OR gate. You can do it from here or from here. So they both work exactly the same. This is just a way to show it so it will be more easy to see. But it's not how you have to do it, because I remember when I started with redstone, I just made the gates like always like this, and it took a lot of space. So yeah, you don't have to do it. Okay, next up is a very important gate, very useful, AND gate. What AND gate means is that the output will show 1 only if both inputs show 1 as well. So if one input shows 1, the output will still show 0. But if both inputs show 1, then the output will show 1. And the way it works basically is by this piece of redstone. This piece of redstone has a no gate, so you can see this redstone activates this block, which deactivates this torch. So what we need to do is to make this redstone show a 0. To do that, we need to deactivate all power sources. So we need to first deactivate this torch by putting a 1 on the lever. But it still gets power from this torch here. So you need this lever and this lever to show 1. Then they'll deactivate this torch here, and they'll put a no gate here, like that. So, moving on. Here there's just another design like torch, block. This is same. This is still an AND gate. You need both levers to show 1 for the output to show 1 as well. Just smaller, like that. Okay, so moving on. This is a very hard to understand gate, or to build. It's called an XNOR gate. What it means basically is that if one of the levers will show 1, the output will show 1 as well. But if both of the levers show 1, then the output will show 0. Basically, if both of the levers show the same, if both of them show 0, or if both of them show 1, the output will show 0. And if they're changed, so if one of them is on 1 and if one of them on 0, then the output will show 1. So the way it works is we take this redstone to two places, to this AND gate here and to this here. Now here we got a double no gate, so we got this torch going to this redstone and then to this torch, and same on the other side. So basically, if I'll have 1 here, I'll have a 1 here as well, because a double no gate means the same, because it reverses the signal from 1 to 0, then from 0 to 1. But we also have an AND gate here, and when both of the levers are activated, this AND gate gets activated, and this torch gets turned on and deactivates both of those levers. So the output here has nowhere to it shows 0 because those two torches show 0 because they got deactivated from the AND gate. But if the AND gate doesn't work and one of the outputs show 1, then the double NO gate will give us 1. But if none of the levers show 1, so nothing will work because the AND gate wouldn't work, but so will the double NO gate, will show still 0. So this is by far, I think, the most complicated gate, and I hope you understood it. This is, again, a far more compact design like that. So you can build it wherever you want, and if you understand the principle behind it. Okay, so let's move on. This here is a very important gate, very useful. You use it more than AND gate. So what it does is an RS knowledge. That's how it's called. And what it does is that there is one button to show always 1, and there is one button to always show 0. So this button will always give the output this button will always give the output to show 0. So if the output is already on 0, nothing will happen. And this button will always get the output to show 1. So if I'll press it, the output will now show 1 permanently. And doesn't matter how much times I press it, it will always make it show 1. And this button will always make it show 0. Like that. So how it works is basically a torch like this, which is going to this torch right here, which is deactivating this torch. So if I'll turn this torch on, this torch will get activated and keep this torch turned off. But if I'll turn this torch off, then this torch will get turned on and keep this torch from turning on. Like that. So it is sort of complicated, but once you get down to it, you understand it very easily. So try to build it yourself and see how you're doing. Again, a compact version like this. So basically it works just the same. Two torches pointing at each other. Like that. Okay, so now here I got a T flip-flop. Now a T flip-flop is based on an RS knowledge. You can see here, there's an RS knowledge right here. But a T flip-flop, what it does is you only have one input. And when you click on the button, it will always show 1. And if you'll click again, it will always show 0. So basically it toggles. That's why it's called T flip-flop. Toggleable or toggling flip-flop. So this design is very complicated. This is a silent design because most design have pistons, like that design over there. So pistons are very easy to make if you want to make a T flip-flop. So this design, not a lot of people use it, but the way it works basically is that you make the RS knowledge one time show this and one time show this with another RS knowledge sort of here. I don't know really how to explain it. If you want to check it in more detail, I will give it down to the map and you can check it out and see how it works. But I won't go into details on this design because this is very complicated and this video is for beginners. Yeah, still, sorry. Okay, it's still for beginners, so I won't go in details. Okay, next we got a D flip-flop. Basically, what it stands for is data flip-flop. What you get is two levers, two inputs. One is controlling the output just as a normal lever. You can turn it on or off. But the other lever can save the data. So if my lever right now that controls the output shows 0, and then I flip this lever down, it saves the data, and now no matter what I'll do to this lever, the output will always show 0. And again, if the controlling output lever shows 1 and then I save the data, no matter what I do, it will still show 1, like that. So this also is based on an RS no latch right here. This lever just controls the RS no latch, so it flips it back and forth like that between the torches. You can see it here. And this lever just deactivates the control. So now the RS no latch stays how it is and you can't control it anymore. So it basically saves it. And here, this is just turned on, and then again you deactivate the control. So now you can't control it anymore because those two torches are turned off, and this is how you control it, like that. Again, if you want to check it more close, I will give the map to download so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, now I want to talk about clocks. A clock is a very useful thing. So what it does basically is that it gives power back and forth. So like it gives power, then not, then yes, then not, then yes, then not. You can see this torch getting turned off and on. Like we. Okay. So basically how it works is just a torch sends the power here, then it gets turned on, off, then it gets turned on, then it gets turned off. So it deactivates itself, then reactivates itself, then, well, you get the point, I hope. Now, the reason why I have a 4-tick delay repeater here is because torch burnout. If a torch, let me just set it to day right now. Now, if a torch gets this clock too fast, it just burns out and it doesn't work anymore. So here the torch just connected to itself without any delay. So you can see it just blimps, and then it burns out. And right now there is no power getting to the torch, and yet it shows 0. So just like this is the smallest way to make it. The torch moves power to the block, then to the redstone, and the redstone deactivates this torch, like that. Okay, but you can make a clock out of it, which is very cool. So, if you have 4 torches burned out, you always one of them will give power. So, this will blink out forever because at any circumstance, at least one of the torches will burn, like that. So you can see it just goes between them, but there's always one that's burning. So this is really useful. It still doesn't work on any outfit. Like, if you try to make it on this lamp, it just wouldn't work. But I think it does work on doors. Let me check. It should work on doors. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It probably works on a dispenser, I guess. Let's check. Yes. Okay, so if I'll just get like a pile of redstone like this, and I'll do like this, you can see it just shoots them out without stopping, like that. So you can turn it off by just powering this redstone, and then nothing will happen. Okay, so this is all for the second lesson, and now I have a challenge. So the challenge is: make a lock that will open a door upon pressing the open button, which will only work if 5 levers are correctly powered or unpowered. Make the door stay open until the code is changed. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here I got a door and an open button. If I'll press on the open button, nothing will happen because we need to insert the code, which the code is 10110. And now if I'll press the open button, the door will open. So to close it, all we need to do is to change the code, and it closes. So yeah, try to make it for yourself. Good luck. If you can't make it, because this challenge is kind of hard, then just ask in the comment and I will show the answer or how I made it. Yeah, that's it for all. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and rate. Oh, you got a glimpse there. Yeah, bye bye.